Kitchener Firefighter Memorial was an amazing project. The piece now is in the Civic Center Park right downtown Kitchener, and it transformed the whole park. It has created an environment that is truly a place to reflect and consider the firefighters not only in the Kitchener area but all across the nation that sacrificed their lives to protect people. And on this piece I couldn't help but use spiritual elements to give life, to give a narration to the fallen firefighter. So you can see at the bottom of the sculpture I have angels that are crying, weeping angels, mourning angels. And from those angels on the bottom, their wings ascend up, they rise up, and they hold a firefighting scene. And the interesting thing about this is within this framework of the wings, I've created all the different aspects on the front of firefighting. I have the pump truck, the ladder, I have the jaws of life represented, I have different scenes and different expressions in those firefighters that kind of show the story, tell the story of the firefighter. And above the firefighters, I decided to put the local fire halls. Actually, the center top fire hall was the old fire station that was torn down, and then surrounding these are some of the more modern fire halls that exist today within the region. And from that landscape scene of those buildings rush the fire trucks. And it's almost like I envisioned as I worked on this piece that there's a fire happening and it's right where the viewer is standing. So the fire is, you can't see it within the piece, but it's almost like there's a rush, that dynamic rush over to get to work for the firefighters. It was an amazing piece. The angels on the bottom, there's 3 of them. The back is a solitaire angel that is meditating or praying, and on the back of the piece, as the wings create a space, instead of putting more firefighters, I actually have the city of Kitchener represented, actually carved within the piece from an aerial perspective looking down. And my intention was that within the wings of the praying angel on the back is the city that the fallen firefighters are looking down upon. So that's why you have the aerial perspective. To achieve that, I had to get in a helicopter and fly around Kitchener snapping digital photographs. And so then what I did was I wove all those photographs together on a back to create a very large landscape and a very accurate landscape of Kitchener today. And so it was a phenomenal experience. The angels on the bottom, I mentioned there's 3 of them. I kind of showed the different steps of grieving within it. One is the shock with the angel with the hand covering the face. The other is the more contemplative one, and you have one of the angels resting a helmet down, and that's the symbol of the fallen firefighter. Around this sculpture are helmets, bronze helmets, placed with the names of the fallen firefighters within the community. So it was a very discreet way of giving dignity to each individual in the community that has fallen. And it ties in with the larger piece. And so within this, it creates a beautiful contemplative environment that I'm very proud to have created. I guess one of the challenges was to put as much as I possibly could within a piece. This is kind of emblematic of the sculptures that I like to do, where it's just not a soundbite, it's just not a visual one-liner. I want to create a story, something as important as firefighters losing their lives to protect other people. I find it's so deep that it's nice to express it in many different ways. A sculpture that has many different angles. It becomes almost a story that people can go up and spend 5-10 minutes looking at and discover aspects of the sculpture, and in turn discover aspects about what it's like to be a firefighter, the seriousness and the epic fallen firefighter, and what that emotionally means. So the reason why this piece is loaded is because I think the subject matter is loaded. And that's an idea that I have, is that if you want to do a great piece of artwork, you really need a great subject matter. And this, I have to tell you, it was a spiritual subject matter. Like most of my sculptures, I'm working on it late at night, and I had a feeling as I was working on it that the fallen firefighters were with me when I was working on it. It's just haunting in a sense, and I think that's when you put so much into a piece, you become totally involved in it. even as something as simple as I'm driving around the Kitchener-Waterloo area and I'm noticing the buildings that are in the back of my sculpture in the landscape, and it was just a project that I got completely involved in, and it was very rewarding spiritually to do this piece.